What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and dive deep into a free-to-play game that could potentially be amazing competition for Call of Duty called The Finals. Now, I went ahead and discussed this game a little while ago when it was in a closed beta form. We played it, we streamed it, all of the above. Of course, if you guys want to check out those streams and watch us play these games live, you can find my Kick channel down in the description of this video, along with my Twitter and Discord. But obviously, an open beta has come out. This game is on all platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and the open beta will end on the 5th of this upcoming month. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys my impressions and let you know if this game has improved, if it's worth your time hopping back in, and if you should really keep it on your radar as a potential game that can, give you a little extra fun, especially if you're tired of Call of Duty in its current state. But just as a little reminder for those who didn't watch my previous The Finals content, when I went ahead and reviewed it in its closed beta form, this game is developed by a bunch of OG classic Battlefield developers. So the key point of this game really is the destruction. I gotta be honest, it's a huge emphasis on destruction. We talked about it back in the beta, and I'm gonna talk about it now. It really is probably the biggest selling point for this game, even though it doesn't need to be a selling point because the game isn't going to be, paid for. It's a free-to-play game. But at the end of the day, that's going to be probably the main draw-in point for a lot of individuals, is the insane combat that you'll get yourself into. The amount of scenarios that you'll have, and honestly, that's engaging. It's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are leaving arcade shooters to go to BRs, even though I personally still prefer my, 6v6 arcade shooters. But at the end of the day, I can't deny the fact that BRs are extremely popular because it does always offer that variety in gameplay. You never know what's going to happen. And that is what the Finals offers to you pretty much every single game in a non-BR format, just strictly, arcade gameplay. It's honestly pretty darn cool. Now, in my closed beta review, I enjoyed the game. It wasn't really that many negatives for me besides the fact that it might be, a little hard for this game to pop off, but still at the end of the day, still going to be a fun one. But the biggest problem was performance, the lack of game modes, and also a pretty beefy, chunky time to kill. So, how's the game improved? Has these things been touched upon? Have they been fixed? And is it a better game from its current closed beta form? Yeah, honestly, it is tremendously better, and I highly encourage everybody out there to give this game a shot. It's free to play on all platforms, and it honestly is just a blast. You can only have 3 people on your team, so, you can have your traditional 4-man party if you have a bunch of friends, or the 6-man party in arcade, shooters. It's only 3 people, but let me tell you, you and your 2 other buddies are going to be having a ball when it comes to this game. But even though the game is really fun, there's still a bunch of stuff that we have to still go ahead and discuss. And it is an open beta, so we have to give our feedback. Performance is still a bit rough. And it's not bad like it was compared to the closed beta. The closed beta, I thought my PC was going to blow up. And I have a really beefy build. Like, it should have absolutely 0 issues whatsoever. Not even a doubt. And it was just die. It was heaving, begging for mercy in the closed beta to the point where I just stopped playing the closed beta. The open beta, it's not like that anymore. It's not that bad, but it still happens quite frequently. Frame drops, stutters, possibly even the servers and just messing up. But again, I'm not really blaming the servers too much. It's mostly just the performance of the game. And I know people are going to say, well, no, it is just the servers. No, it only really happens when it's crazy destruction, everything's popping off. And the sad part about it is that that's literally the whole game. This whole game, the fun factor is based around just insane, chaotic gameplay. And it's rough because once you get into that insane, chaotic gameplay, you are just absolutely... It's a hard experience. Like I said, frame drops, stutters. And on top of that, the game still feels kind of floaty. That's a personal preference thing, though. I'm not going to say that, that's a bad thing because I also think Apex Legends feels kind of floaty. And, it's other games out there that I think feel a little bit more floaty and not snappy and responsive like, COD or Battlefield or something of that sort. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section if you agree with that. But the floatiness isn't a big problem. It's the performance that kills it along with the floatiness. It's really hard to track with that style of gameplay if the performance is really chopping me up. Whereas in a tighter, game like COD, even with performance chopping me up, I can still nail a decent amount of shots and feel consistent. But when the whole world is exploding around me, walls are, busting, fires popping off, everybody's just caving in on your position and going crazy, it's not very easy to manage both at the same time. So the performance is still a little bit rough, so keep that in mind if you go into this game and give it a shot. The time to kill is chunky. Now, I believe the devs are going to go ahead and address this and fix up the time to kill, make it a little bit more decent. Again, I don't want it to be completely dumped down. It doesn't have to be 100 HP or any crap like that, you know? It could be exactly what it is. I understand the format of the game. You have a light character, a medium character, and a heavy character, and obviously each class is going to have different time to kill, different health. I get it. I'm okay with it. But seriously, I mean, the amount of times I have to dump a whole mag into a heavy, I'm going to tell you right now, if you 1v1 a heavy, the only time you are really going to outbeat them is if you nail pretty much all headshots, or they are just really bad and they can't land any shots. I've dumped full mags into heavies, and it's insane how much health they have. They really do tank, and then if they have a light or a medium with them, they're going to absolutely mop the floor with you. So like I said, I don't want time to kill to be extraordinarily fast, but if they could just tone it back just a little bit to make the gunfights feel a little bit more engaging when it comes to, the heavies coming to mop the floor, that would be fantastic as well. But again, I think the devs are already going to go ahead and, work on this. So that's 2 thumbs up. And the game modes, that's another thing that I have to touch upon. There are no more different game modes. There's only 2. I forget the exact names. I gotta be honest with you, I don't really remember the exact names of them. But the one that you're watching right here is the exact one that we played in the closed beta. Basically, it's going to be different drops that you have to go and unlock. You have your 3 different teams coming to fight for those drops. You have to capture it and then go to the cash out zone, cash out the drop, defend it, make sure nobody steals it, so on and so forth. And there's a new mode. I think it's like bank something. I forget exactly what it is, but that has 4 teams of 3. And basically, it's almost like kill confirmed mixed with like grind from Call of Duty, where you have to deposit the kill confirmed, tags. It's kind of like that, but, in this game right here, which I guess is a little bit more fun. It's more TDM based. But a lot of people want just like a traditional real kill confirmed, real TDM, or just, domination or something of that sort. And, put us on 2 teams instead of having multi-teams. I feel like that would help this game tremendously. I understand the format that they're going for, and it's incredible. It's perfectly fine with me. But I really do think that if they just add in a domination mode or something like that, it will be a lot easier for casuals to come in and experience this game. It was the same problem with the closed beta. It's just people don't want to, take the step to learn. It's just as simple as that. It's the same case for pretty much any game I could possibly think of. I love the skill gap, and I love, the learning curves of games. But for the mass majority of people out there, they just can't stand going through a harsh learning curve. It is what it is. And I understand a lot of people don't have the time on their hands to even go through a learning curve like that, so I don't blame you. But this game mode that you're going to be playing is a tad bit confusing, unless obviously you put in a handful of matches to understand it. And a lot of people aren't going to want to go through with that. And I think if you had a domination mode, it would help them get their feet wet with the game and, really dabble with it and understand it. And then they can go over to what this game is all about and go to the real game modes. But having a little, something like domination, TDM, something like that, kill confirmed, without, the grind factor, I think would be fantastic for casual players to come in. And I understand the way this game is formatted is, you have a light character, medium character, heavy character, so you're supposed to have a team of 3. But even if you just do 4v4, a couple of heavies, a medium, a light, or something, it doesn't have to be a 6v6 environment, because I understand it might be hard to run, especially, well, I don't know. You would think it wouldn't be too hard to run, but again, it's a lot of destruction. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this game. So it's understandable if they need to cut down the player count. But I just think that would be a fantastic idea to have a little bit more variety than just the game modes that we have within here. But other than those things, I had a fantastic time with this game. I mean, even down to the customization, it's just all out. You can deck out your character in the craziest ways. It's pretty much a game show, so it's not really any seriousness to the title either. You could do whatever you want. There's so much creativity to combat. It's engaging, and I really like that. But I still do believe that those things should be touched upon, especially the performance of the overall title, which I know they'll work on. But yeah, that one is a biggie, just to make sure things smooth out when destruction starts, ramping up. What else? I mean, realistically, yeah, I summarized the overall experience. It's up to you guys to go ahead and try it for yourself, and obviously go down in the comment section and leave your opinions about it. The last thing I want to leave you guys with, though, is I think the most important thing about this title: will it last? I'm having a hard time pushing past the concept that this game is just going to be something that is super hyper competitive. And I don't know if it's going to hold on to a casual player base. The way they advertise it, the way it's like, like I said, a game show. It's very competitive. It's teams of 3. It's going to be something that's interesting to see pan out over time. I'm curious how it's going to be handled. I'll obviously still be there to enjoy the game because I think it's pretty fun, and I don't mind a little competition, but I don't know if it's going to be able to, really top out a lot of these other games. But if you are looking for alternative to Call of Duty or even Battlefield, since again this game was made by ex-DICE developers who worked on the OG Battlefield games, if you're into arcade shooters, I think you should try it out. Again, it's on all platforms, completely free to play, and when it launches, it's going to be free to play. So it's really no, losing the situation. You're going to have X Defiant in one hand, and then you'll be able to play the finals in the other. And, if you do decide to go still play COD or Battlefield, you'll have that as a third. At the end of the day, FPS gamers are kind of eating pretty good right now, as long as, these other games are going to be polished off and perfected by launch. But as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And also, don't forget you can find the link to my stream down in the description of this video. We stream over on Kick at around 12:30 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're not going to be live on Sunday, but we'll be back on Monday. And also, we're going to be doing a scary stream on Tuesday since it's Halloween. So make sure you guys tune in, hit that follow, and don't forget I have a Twitter and Discord with the links to those down in the description of this video as well. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.